Hello, masters, divine beings, conscious creators. I'm so grateful to have you here, and today I'm going to be sharing more about my personal experience and relating it to something that I feel is super important, because it's something I was caught in the trap of for years. It's the concept or the idea of always needing to do more, especially if you've learned about conscious creation or you understand to some degree, because there's varying levels of understandings, that you are in control of your reality to some degree. Some people still don't necessarily believe that it's all the way, which reality will reflect that, and you can see that based on your own assumptions and who you're claiming to be. And if you trace it back, you will definitely see where these varying degrees of understanding are being outpictured. But in the meantime, back to the topic here, needing to do more. When you start to understand that you are a conscious being, that no matter what, you are existing eternally, whether it's in this plane, a different plane, infinite planes, whatever you believe in, whatever you want to call it. Energy is nor created or destroyed. This is a concept of quantum physics, really, at its core, is knowing that there's no such thing as taking away. It's just shifting energy, right? So creation is finished, and that goes along with what is said in spiritual texts. If creation is finished, the beginning, the end, there is no beginning and end, it all just is, then you never cease to exist. So going back then to needing to do more, sometimes there's this trap where, and this is so, I'm going to relate it to me. There's this trap where you start to wake up and you start to realize that it is kind of all you. But then you still aren't understanding that it's about who you are being or who you're claiming to be. And so let's say for me, in a different reality, I was claiming to be a person who consistently struggled with mental illness, consistently struggled with energy issues, consistently struggled with body weight, consistently struggled with not feeling good, okay? And so when I started to understand this, at first I'm like, I'm reading certain texts and doing Dr. Joe, and at first I saw, oh, okay, maybe I'll pay attention to my thoughts. And I started to pay attention and realize that I consistently was identifying with this by saying, oh, I'm sick and I'm not feeling good and something's wrong with me and it's never gonna work, which was outpictured. But I took, because it's sneaky, right? The ego, the outpicturing it's like it feels sneaky, because, and it's not actually sneaky in a sense of like it's being conniving and trying to freak you out in new ways. It's just the ego is structured the way we structured it to keep us safe and comfortable. That's what keeps us in this 3D experience of feeling that it's still an experience, versus like completely seeing through that it's a game and then it not being realistic and then it's boring and then we move on. So let's say then, for my case, I start changing different thoughts and I start claiming something new, but I'm still not understanding that it's not about doing more. It's not about consistently doing techniques and consistently meditating. And yes, there is a degree of understanding that routine is important, because if you're not consciously being something, then you're gonna by default be something that you've claimed to be in the past, okay? And it's all right now. So of course, claiming to be something in the past is only bringing it to the now. So if you aren't being conscious starting your day and going to bed, and obviously throughout the day, but especially when you wake up and go to bed, because the first thing you think before your day starts and the last thing you think before you go to bed are going to be ruminating in consciousness for what, like how many hours you sleep, and how many hours you're awake. So, Dr. Joe talks about this, like you conquer the day, the rest of the day is easy. Abraham Hicks talks about getting to the vortex. They're all similar ways of saying, who are you conscious of being, okay? When you first wake up and you first go to bed. So there is a degree of staying in that consistency and persistence, because otherwise you're going to keep being default who you used to be, and that's going to consistently outpicture. But there is an understanding that if you then take it one step further of, now you've taken the old identity that is never feeling good enough, and in my case, the old identity that was obsessively trying to do more work because I needed to get more things, I then because I didn't fully understand who I was, I then took the part of me that said I need to do more and put it, textbook formula implemented. I wrote the code into the computer that I need to do more with spirituality. So then I made myself crazy because I thought I need to do more in the morning, like beyond. I would do 4 hours, and then before bed I would do hours, and then throughout the day I needed to check out and to do all these specific techniques, and I needed to do 10-minute method, and I needed to do robotic affirmations, and I needed to close my eyes and sense space, and I needed to this. The list got longer, and I felt exhausted because I wasn't being, I was doing to get something, and I was obsessed with outcomes versus feeling the knowingness that I am everything, and that wherever I reside in consciousness is true for me. I wasn't coming at it that angle. I was still coming at it from the version that was obsessively trying to get things and to create things and to be better and to do better and to get more validation. So I needed the validation from outside instead of giving it to me from within. So there's a lot of people I find that fall into this trap of just needing to do more, obsessively needing to do more. And because it doesn't equate, the more you do, the better you are, or the more conscious you are. That doesn't actually add up. It's who you are being is outpictured. So you can be underneath the consciousness of, oh, like I understand the law, or I understand how reality works, but still have the assumption or the version that you identify with that feels separate, that they need to do things to get things. And that's going to supersede that. That's still going to outpicture. That's why you kind of have to be aware from all different angles. If I'm claiming to be healthy, right? So I am health, then I'm claiming that I'm health no matter what. So whether I'm eating healthy or working out or, going on a walk or whatever I'm doing, I need to be in the consciousness that I am health, and it's not these things that are creating the outcome. It is my consciousness that is creating the outcome. And then whether you're led to do something is just going to be natural and fun for you. But if you're obsessively now being like, I am healthy, but I have to take 1 million supplements, and I need to do more, and I need to sit in consciousness and see for 2 hours straight, I need to minimum 2 hours straight, need to see myself as a specific physique, because if not, this is going to happen. Do you see how then you're still in the consciousness of, I'm not really it fully? So you're going to get results, but eventually you're going to be burnt out, exhausted, because you're going to always have to do more, or you're going to see it come and go. And this is something I went with, because it took me 3 years to finally shift to the consciousness of being truly sound mentally, because I still did that. Like I a few months in, I would feel really good, but I still got obsessive in other ways, and that transferred, and eventually it would come up again. And then because I wasn't solidified in knowing who I was, I would see that and be like, oh my God, now I have to do more, because I'm not the person that I want to be. So I kept affirming, like, I'm not the person that I want to be, I need to do more. And I need to do more, and I'm not the person that I want to be. Oh my gosh, because I'm not the person, I need to do more, and because I need to do more, now if I don't do that, that's gonna see, it was just a cycle of a cluster F of feeling not the version of me that actually was sound, happy, okay? So it is never about needing to do more. It's never about how many more techniques, or how much more you robotically affirm, or how much more you imagine in the day, or how much more you speak from that new version. If you still feel, not feelings in a way of like, oh, I need to feel perfect, but if you're still residing in consciousness as this version that doesn't identify to your core with that person, because you haven't done self-concept and knowing that you're all that is and that everything's from you, or changing the way you see how other people treat you, or how your relationship with health is, it's gonna keep doing this wave in this weird in and out and come and go and distant near, and it's just going to be so disempowering and not emasculating. That's not the word. This is the funny thing. Sometimes in my head I have the whole sentence, and then trying to get it out in time is a very interesting concept, especially now that I'm very aware of I'm not this character. It's so weird sometimes to speak from it. You know what I'm saying? You probably know what I'm saying. But anyways, that is the trap try not to fall for it. I mean, I feel like at one point we've all probably fallen for it, whether we were unconsciously falling for it or consciously falling for it. It's funny, I was so hyper conscious that I was like obsessively creating these ways for me to feel that I was never enough and I needed to do more. And looking back, it was just still identifying with that version of myself from childhood, which is now, that didn't feel that. So I kept out picturing that in new forms, because you can be unconscious, spiritually unconscious, or not spiritually unconscious. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you have or how many books you've read or how many hours you've meditated. You can immediately just shift into a reality that is unwanted, and then that's it for you. Like that's the reality you're going to experience. It's not linear time and changing, and now that I've done this for years, it means I'm more spiritual, and that changes things. No, it's snapshots of reality, snapshots of versions of you and states and different identities, and you put the clothes on, you take them off, and that's all it is. It's no change or linear. It's just shifting within, and then the out picturing changes. You're not changing out there as if that's something that needs to be changed over time. And that's something that took, like, it's sometimes I still can see how that mind wants to go there, of like, oh, I've changed, look, my reality's changing. Well, it's not that it's changing, it's just that I've changed, and that's being out pictured. So it's see how it's such a fine dance and a fine line that where you catch yourself and bring yourself back into the I am, and then from there claiming who you want to be. So if you've noticed within you that, you know, you've read a lot, you've listened to a lot of videos, maybe you've listened to my videos, listened to other YouTubers that I love, or YouTubers that may confuse you because they're telling you things based on still being in that consciousness or that state. Be aware of where you still maybe are acting out of a place of feeling like you're not the version of you, because that's a sneaky place. And once you catch that, then you can claim like knowing who you are. So if you see yourself going on an extra run when you're claiming to be healthy because you think you need to do the extra run, well, the version of you that's healthy is already healthy. And if you're naturally led to run because it feels good, then you're going to run. But it's not the other way around. It's not like I have to do this to be this within. It's no, wake up. Am I this within? Great. Now I'm going to stay within. And if that feels good, then I'll do it. And if it doesn't feel good, then I'm not going to do it. Because if it doesn't feel good to go on that extra run, and then now you're pushing yourself because you're in the consciousness of I need to get something, then you've circled back to the beginning of not claiming to be that person. Because it really does not matter what you do in this external reality. Like, any action can lead to the exact same outcome if you are being the same person. And it's such a liberating thing, because then you could see, like, if you trace it back to all those times where you've tried to make more money, you've tried the fad diet, and then you've gotten nowhere, and you're looking at other people as if, oh, well, how did it work for them? Well, you don't know where they're residing in consciousness, right? Because naturally, let's say for someone else, like an influencer, you see who all of a sudden they blew up really fast, and like then now they're claiming, oh, just do these steps and you'll make the money. And then you're thinking, yeah, I have to do these steps to make the money. But you're in the consciousness of not being abundant, then you could do those steps and not make the money. See? Versus if I'm in the consciousness of I am abundant, like money just flies to me, then I could do the same exact thing I was doing for years, and now just all this money's flooding in. Do you see that? It's really interesting. It's so cool, and it's a fun thing to just really get that self-feedback loop of like where you're actually being in consciousness and residing, and what house, what mansion are you staying in? It's, my father has many mansions. Seriously, what mansion are you choosing to inhabit? Choosing to, and is it inhabit? Well, for the people out there who are really good with English, even though it's apparently something I've known my whole life, you can comment below all the grammatical errors in the ways that I'm saying things, but that's not the point of this video. Again, just remind yourself again, who am I being? What am I claiming? And then when you catch that I need to, bring it back in and claim who you are right now in consciousness. That'll ease, okay? And it may not at first. I mean, like when I finally shifted into, no, I am happy and healthy. It doesn't matter what I do. Does not matter. At first it felt so weird. Like I was feeling way more anxiety and everything was just, coming up stronger. But then again, I was listening to some of my favorite YouTubers who were talking about how, well, then if you claim that, well, I feel anxious, then look what you're doing. You're just then recreating that again. So then instead I'd say, well, I feel so peaceful. I feel so grateful. And I feel amazing. I didn't have to actually feel that, but I knew that where I was residing, what I was claiming in consciousness, like knowing this version of myself to be true, because all versions of yourself right now are true. And you don't have to feel all those versions to know that, because think of it, right? Right now, there's a version that feels maybe like physical pain in the knee, and let's say you don't have physical pain and you feel physical pain in the knee. Are you feeling the physical pain right now, unless I just made you aware to feel the physical pain? No. I mean, if you say yes, then I mean, that's a different scenario. I mean, that's probably because it was there and now you're just tricking yourself to think it was there. But that's because it's a different version, but you can jump into that version. So remind yourself then, if I don't feel happy or healthy right now, I'm not tuned into that version, but eventually that's going to be when I keep claiming that. So it's okay in the meantime to not feel what you want to feel. You just have to be aware with what you're going to keep deciding. Okay, then that will be outpictured. I know this works. Many people know this works, and it's up to you to decide if you want to reside there or not. And then that's what will depend on if you get the results or not. And that's why for me, it took years for me to decide in a moment to get the results instantly, right? So it's not that it took years, it's just that I was in different consciousnesses for those years until I finally understood, decided, and changed consciousness, and it was instant. I mean, it all is instant, right? So I instantly gave myself something until I instantly changed the reality I wanted. It's so fun, it's so simple, and you can do it. All of us can do it. Really, we can. We're given, just think about it. If you're given the gift of consciousness, and you're given the gift of being able to think, imagine, to see something, to hear, to smell, to touch within, then how could that not mean that you can choose that? Otherwise, wouldn't you not be able to even contemplate that? I don't know. These are just different ways to think about it. And if you're in the consciousness that this does not work for you at all, then it doesn't matter what I say. You're going to be in the consciousness that it doesn't work. And that's going to show you how powerful it is, that it's going to show you that it doesn't work. And then if you start asking yourself different questions that prompt you into new identities, you'll eventually see how that is completely outpictured by you. So just be open, try it out. It's the truth. I don't even have to say it. It's just how the mechanism of reality works. And it's, oh my God, I almost just watched someone completely smash a car and they didn't. Good for you. So yeah, you guys got this, right? It's not about more. You are already perfect. You are enough. You're everything. You don't need to do anything. You need do nothing. It's written in scripture. You need do nothing. It's about deciding. And I have a video about deciding, and it's not like just decide, those clickbait things where they tell you basically nothing. Decision is, you're making decision all the time. So it's not like you need to learn how to decide. It's just that you need to be unwavering, single-minded, crystal clear attention on this version of you, and you watch it unfold. So thank you guys. If you feel called to work with me, if you want a different perspective, again, you don't need it. You have all the power you need within you. You are a divine master being. That's who you are all the time, whether you believe it right now or not. It is who you are. But if you need a little nudge, a little kiss, a little love, then you can go to the description below. Everything's there for you, and reach out to me. And I'm so grateful to give you that guidance you may need. Again, though, you'll have to do the work, but you know that. But thanks, guys. Love you all. Have the most blessed day. You will. I know you will. You're always having the most blessed day. You are in your desired reality. You are powerful. You are conscious. You are the creator. And you know this at your core. Stay tuned for the next video. And I thought something fell, but it didn't. Bye, guys.